Hi, Dirty Girl here with a vintage sales report for the month of September 2018 on eBay and Etsy. And not as great a month as August was, but August is going to be pretty hard to beat. August was my best month ever. September was a little slower, but still a few interesting things to talk about. And just so you know, the prices that I quote are for the sales price only. They don't include shipping, which the buyer pays. And occasionally there are little coupons that people use to get $1 or $2 off. And I'm not talking about those either. I'm just talking about the retail price that these sold for. And I only really had one eBay sale worth mentioning. I'm just telling you about the better sales. The higher prices are the ones that were interesting for one reason or another. And so on eBay I sold this mahogany art box. It's had all these cool drafting tools, these little bottles that I guess they used to put pigments for ink or something like that. But anyway, any kind of little box with drawers and dividers in it, I just can't resist. And I paid I think $20 at the flea market for this and sold it for $64. And the rest of these are Etsy sales, where my vintage store is Vintage Dazzle, all one word. But actually this sale right here I sold in my craft store because it's a craft supply. I sold this lot of turquoise nugget beads, and I paid $5 for those at the flea market and sold them for $75. So that was a pretty good one. And then we're back to my vintage store, and I bought this 800 silver Art Deco bracelet at the rummage sale that's at my mother-in-law's retirement community. I go there every month now. Just combine it with a visit with her, and it all works out well. And so anytime you hear me say rummage sale, that's generally what I'm talking about. And so this is an Art Deco style with lapis lazuli, little tiny stones, and a kind of a stair step skyscraper design to it. Anyway, really cool older piece, probably European. And I paid $12 for that at the rummage sale and sold it for $52. And this is a cool, probably 1960s to 1970s caftan. Had some really nice embroidery on it, and let's see if I can show you the embroidery. Really pretty. And that came from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $32. And this is a set of Krementz, Krementz. That's a really good brand to look for. Shirt studs and cufflinks, and they're black enamel, and they come in a Bakelite box. And one of them was missing. It was this one right here. And so I bought a replacement that was close, but not exactly a match. But, you know, when they're on the shirt and separated by some space, I don't think you'll be able to tell. And I did disclose that in the listing. But I thought a complete set would sell better than one with one missing. So altogether, including the replacement, I paid $9.15 and sold it for $55. And this is a green chalcedony and marcasite ring. Really nice, probably 1930s, a real big showy ring. And I paid $20 for that at the flea market and sold it for $60. And sterling silver. Did I mention it was sterling silver? And this is fun. This was a very shabby lap desk that I got. See if I can show you. The condition was not great, especially on the outside. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, it had this kind of paper, this patterned paper that was all wrinkled, and it didn't look great, and then it had this kind of faux paint surface. But anyway, I got that at the flea market for $5, and I sold it for $45, so that's great. And this is a labradorite pendant in sterling silver, and I got that for $5 at the flea market, and I sold it for $35. Labradorite is my new favorite stone. I just love it. It's so pretty. And we have here a mid-century modern coffee pot by 1847 Rogers Brothers, silver plate. It's Flare is the name of this design. It has a really cool bullet look to it. And I paid $10 for that. I think I got that in an estate sale and sold it for $65. I did sit on it for a while, but I got my asking price. Yes! And this is really big. As you can see, I went ahead and did the main picture against my hand so people would be sure and know how big it was. It's a rhinestone cross, kind of a faux topaz brown and yellow. Really, really cool looking. It was really distressed when I bought it. I did a lot of cleaning on it. I paid $10 for it, and I sold it for $32. And the turquoise jewelry continues to sell. I love selling turquoise jewelry, Native American especially. I paid $10 for this ring at the flea market, and I sold it for $41. It was a particularly pretty piece of turquoise. Oh, they're all pretty. I love turquoise. And this is a Chinese hand-embroidered little tapestry, I guess you'd call it. Had a stork and some clouds, water, waves, bats, all the good luck things. 13 by 14 inches. I believe my sister-in-law sent that to me, so I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $52. And this is a Givenchy silver tone, chunky, actually silver plated necklace. Very sort of modernist sculptural look to it. And I found that on a $2 table. The mark on it was fairly well hidden. I was really pleased when I found it, and I sold that for $45. And this is a Morton Pottery spongeware advertising picture from the 1930s, about. Paid 50 cents for that. I can't remember whether that was a garage sale or an estate sale. And sold it for $55. Again, I had to sit on that for quite some time. This is another Navajo piece. K&M Bill are the artists. It's I forget what K&M stands for, but it's very clearly marked. It's sterling silver and gold filled band, and they're a pretty desirable maker. And I sold that for, let's see, I paid $5 for it at the flea market, and I sold it for $45. And this was a really pretty needlepoint. You could use it as you could make a chair seat out of it, you could frame it, you could make a pillow out of it. The canvas was Hiawatha heirloom canvas, which I guess is pretty desirable. And I think I determined it was from the 1960s, and I paid $3 for that at the flea market and sold it for $28. God, when I think about the hours that went into that, it's kind of sad. And this is a sterling silver Native American bear fetish necklace, a pendant. And I got this at the flea market, but I think it was on a $3 table. And it's not marked, but I suspected it might be silver just because I've sold some others very similar before, and yay, it tested as sterling silver, and it was really heavy, 19 grams. So I sold that for $38. And this is a brass helicopter, Vietnam era, that came from my mother-in-law's rummage sale. And I paid $5 for that. Yes, $5. And I sold it for $42. And I have to just tell you, I sold it to a prop house. And it's going to be in a TV show. It's going to be on Magnum PI, the reboot that they're doing. And it'll be this month. I forget the date. But anyway, yeah, I think that's kind of exciting. It's going to be a famous helicopter. And let's see, did I tell you already? I sold it for $42. This is a souvenir panel bracelet from Egypt. And Uh-oh, where did that go? Oh, shoot. It looks like... No, there it is. Sorry. I paid $5 for that at the flea market. It was kind of... had some wear on it, but it was kind of in a charming way, I guess. And that paid $5 for it and sold it for $28. And this is a gilded wood and gesso framed mirror, gold leaf, kind of a Hollywood Regency, Rococo, Italianate look to it. It was made in Italy, I believe. And paid $5 for that at the flea market and sold it for $38. And this was my best sale of the month. These are some really cool doors. They're like little saloon doors or something. And they have this carving on it of these guys riding horses with these kind of pointy looking hats. And I looked and looked and looked to try and figure out what these were, where they came from. I was, sending pictures of it to anybody that specialized in wood carving and stuff. Nobody could tell me where they were from. Anyway, but I paid $25 for those at the flea market and sold them for $175. I put a high price on them just because they were so unique and just so different. So, yeah, I was happy about that. And this is a sterling silver, onyx, and marcasite Art Deco ring. And I paid $10 for that at the flea market and sold it for $32. And this is an inlaid sterling silver, Mexican sterling silver bracelet with all different kinds of stones in it. It's got onyx and lapis and carnelian and malachite. And I don't know what else. And just really pretty, nice inlay work. And I paid $15 for that at the flea market and sold it for $54. And this is a raw silk maxi skirt from the 1960s. Orange with these beautiful flowers, a really beautiful fabric. It was made by a home seamstress, didn't have any tags or anything, but it was just beautifully made, fully lined, really nice. It came from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $55. And the last item are these very cool sterling silver. They were Native American style. I don't know if they were actually Native American. But they have jade and rose quartz, and they were really big and heavy pierced earrings. I paid $15 for those at the flea market and sold them for $48. And I think I did lower the price on those. I had them higher for a while when they weren't selling, which I don't understand why, because they were so cool looking. So anyway, those are my sales for September. I appreciate you watching, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and comment if you like. And my shop is vintagedazzle.etsy.com, or on eBay. I'm Carol Lennox, and I have the links down below. And I guess that's it. So I will see you soon, probably with another haul video. Bye!